What's up, everybody? Johnny here. I'm back to do my movie collection. Once again, I'm doing it in the morning in my robe. Maybe this will be a tradition. I don't know. Nah, probably not. But yeah, I'm here to do my movie collection. I got all my movies here. I have all 33 of his movies from his career have been released on DVD or Blu-ray, so I have them all. One is really rare, what I have on DVD. They haven't only printed it once, and they haven't printed it again. And then I also have other stuff affiliated with him, like his TV appearances and maybe music compilation ones. So I'll show you all those too. And yeah, so I have a couple of Blu-rays. I only have 5 of his movies on Blu-ray, and everything else is on DVD. And some of them are in movie packs. And I'll probably talk about a little bit about his movies along the way, because, I mean, to me, out of 33 of his movies, I like about a dozen of them are good. I think the first 4 from the 50s is a no-brainer. Everybody likes the first 4 he did, which was Love Me Tender, Loving You, Jealous Rock, and King Creole. And a lot of people say King Creole is his best movie, as far as acting and all that, but I don't think it is, and I'm going to explain why about that as we go along. And there's a few that are good in the 60s, and I think like the common ones, you know, everybody likes G.I. Blues, everybody likes Blue Hawaii, Viva Las Vegas, and then he has 2 concert films at the end of his career, was On Tour, or Elvis, That's the Way It Is, then on Elvis on Tour. Those are good. So I like all those. Those are part of the list. But the last few ones that are part of my list, I'll explain a little bit more into detail. And one of those last ones I didn't name yet is, to me, the best acting he did. And actually, it's one of my favorite movies. If not, maybe it could be number 1 as far as, you know, serious role and all that. That's what makes it number 1 for me. But I think I'll do the movies first on DVD, and I'll save the Blu-rays for after I show his movies from his career. So let me just sit these the other way real quick. So I grab them. Alright, so the first one I kind of have them in order, but they're not going to be in order about when they came out. Because like I said, some of these are in movie packs, but the stack of DVDs, they're kind of in order of when they came out. So, we start with the first one I have on DVD of this earliest movie. And this is the one that's really rare and hard to find on DVD. It's Loving You. This is his his second movie. This came out on DVD, I guess sometime in the early 2000s. But it went out of print really, really quick, and it's hard to come by. This is the true DVD. It's not no bootleg and nothing. It's so hard to find, and I was lucky enough to get it when it initially came out. But that's around when I started liking Elvis. And I think I ordered this from Borders bookstore when it was still around, and I ordered it from their store. They only had a few left in stock, I guess, at their warehouse. It was probably out of print. I think I paid like $30 for it, but it was worth it now because they have never released it. So it has just a little couple bonuses. And this is one of my favorite movies. It's a good soundtrack too, but there you have it. So Loving You, 1957. These next 2 movies are the ones that are on my list that I didn't say. But these are 2 of the ones that are up there on the list of my favorite movies. The first one I want to show is Flamin' Star. Flamin' Star was a good movie. It was a dramatic role. It's from 1960. It's a Western. It's just cool to see him something in. He didn't sing any songs in it, really. All there was a title song, I think, and one little song during like a party at his family's house or something. But it's a really good movie. This is one of those movies that showed he could act. You know, there was potential there. And it's a shame that he didn't do more serious movies. He only did a couple more after that, after this. Probably because he was already buying the contracts for them for the most part. And it just proved Colonel Parker's point that if you put a soundtrack with a movie, it'll do better. And but this movie didn't do that great when it came out. And it's a shame that the fans didn't go see a lot of fans didn't go see a serious movie. They wanted to hear him sing. But then as the 60s went on, they probably got bored with those movies. But yeah, there you go. I think in the back of this just has the chapter listing. Yeah. So, but this is up there on my list of favorite movies. Wild in the Country. This one, to me, is probably number 2 on my list. Wild in the Country. It's a very good dramatic role. Again, there's not much singing, but it's just a good dramatic role, man. He plays like a troubled guy who sees this psychiatrist. It's just an awesome movie. I can watch. This is one of those movies I can watch over and over. This is just that good of a movie. That's a pretty good cast in it. You know, they always have the good-looking girls in his movies. But yeah, I mean, it's a shame. Another one that probably didn't do that well. I don't think it did. And it's actually, I read information on this movie. There's alternate things in the skit. Who knows if, and it makes me wonder if they'll ever do his movies. I know the estate, they don't have control over that because this is owned from, this movie's owned from 20th Century Fox. But I just wonder if they'll ever do like deluxe editions of it and maybe do extras of scenes that weren't in movies. So I'm sure there's some movies that had scenes that weren't released in the theatrical version, Because I heard at one point in the car, there's one point when the psychiatrist, she like tries to commit suicide and kill herself. She turns on her car in the garage. But in the alternate version of that movie, in that scene, she actually does die. She doesn't live like she does in this movie. So I'm just wondering if they'll ever add, that stuff. Maybe if there's potential there. Sometimes I feel like they hold back releases of that type of stuff because they're afraid to release it, but they don't know how much potential is there. Because let's face it, a lot of older fans like Elvis, and a lot of his older fans are, I'm not trying to be a jerk, but passing away. Like the ones that are really old. So, I don't know. There's not many young people like me that are really into Elvis, I think. Okay. It happened at the World's Fair. It's like from 1962, this movie. Fun fact, Kurt Russell's in here. I'm sure you knew that if you're a fan. These are like some of these versions of Warner Brothers, these type of covers came with lobby cards of the movie. Or little cards of just stuff. Yeah, Kurt Russell, he's in this movie as a kid. It's one of his first roles. So. Here we got Harem Scarum. Not one of my favorites. I think a lot of people would agree. Not much to say about this movie. But like I said, every movie of his had good sound, good soundtrack songs. And even this one had a couple of good songs in the soundtrack. There's always at least one or two. On my music library, I try to put the title song of each soundtrack, and then I select other ones I thought they were good. So, Spin Out, right here. So, got Spin Out. From 1966. Got Double Trouble There you go. Speedway. With Nancy Sinatra from 1968. I think this is around the time when he was doing this movie. Lisa Marie was born. I think right before or after he finished the movie, or maybe even during the movie, she was born. I'm not sure really. This is another one that was less for me. The Trouble with Girls and How to Get Into It from 1968 or 9. Here's a song from the soundtrack right here. And it's funny, you know, this movie has a lot of his movies over the years had a lot of stars that were going to be in bigger things, or were in bigger things than this. Like in this movie, Vincent Price is in this movie. You know, he's in a lot of classic horror movies, but he's in this movie. I don't think him and Elvis interact though, but I wonder how it was. And the girl who played one of the Bradys on it, the girls, I can't remember the name of the Brady girl. I haven't watched that show in years, but she's in there as a kid, a little bit younger. This movie I'm about to show next is, I think, #1 as far as acting and the script and the maturity of it. Some may agree, disagree. Change of Habit. It's a good movie, man. I love this movie. This is actually one of the ones I enjoy the most. You know, because there's only, you don't sing really. It's a very mature role, like the themes in it. He plays a doctor, and it has a good cast. It has Mary Tyler Moore, and I think her name is, what's her name? Let's see if it's on here. Yeah, Barbara McNair. She's on it. She's a good actor, and she was a singer too. And she had her own show also. But it was just a good, and this is his last scripted film, and I mean it was a really good movie, man. If you have a chance to watch it, just watch it. Maybe you'll know what I'm talking about. As far as the seriousness and there's actually cussing in it. I know one word they say. I don't want to offend nobody when I say it, but they say faggot in it. But there's cussing. This little boy said bitch in it. Like he's like. Something about they called my sister a bitch. He got beat up, so he went to go see Elvis at the doctor. But yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, check this movie out. People are like, King Creole has the best acting and songs. Yeah, it has really good songs, but it's not his best acting. It's still early on in his career, but it's still a great movie. But as far I like to look at the seriousness of them, and this is probably #1 with Wild the Country at #2 for me. This is a box set. This came from Warner Brothers, and all the other ones came individually. Okay. So I'll do this. And I think each of them have like little cards inside. But here's Kissing Cousins. I was somewhere and I saw the original movie poster. The guy wanted a ridiculous price. I wanted to buy it. But you know, that's the type of stuff I want to, get since I'm basically done with his, albums. That's the kind of stuff I want to look into getting. Original memorabilia from during his lifetime. Oops. So, yeah. Girl happy? There we go. So each of them have a replica of the movie poster. And this is one of the movies. I think this is the first movie I've ever seen of Elvis, Tickle Me, which isn't the greatest. I remember the day when I always knew who Elvis was even before I liked him. You know, who doesn't know who Elvis is? But I remember when I initially started liking him. It must have been like around the anniversary of his death, like the 25th anniversary of his death. And I came home from school one day. I was probably in 7th or 8th grade. And I got off the bus, came home from school, came in the house. I just put on TV, man. I was trying to find something to watch. And I was flipping through the channels on, I guess it was on TCM. And I just started watching. I knew who Elvis was. I just started watching it, and he just catches your eye. He's a cool-looking dude. But yeah. Maybe after this movie one, not today though, but maybe after I do his movie, I'll do a movie-themed video next of movie memorabilia I have of him, which isn't much really. Stay Away Joe. This is like a pointless movie, really. It's just a whole bunch of nonsense. I mean, I don't know. And it has some people in this cast who became big in other stuff, like this guy right here. He was in the Batman. Well, this is during it, I think. He was in the Batman television series. Heh, that's funny. So, live a little, love a little. He's like a photographer in this movie, photographer. This movie is a little weird too. I don't understand it. Elvis's father appears in this movie. And then Elvis's, I think, dogs are in here. His Great Danes. Or Great Dane or whatever. What's this? Oh, probably a security thing. Yeah. And this is another one that's up there on the list for me because it was just so different. Charo. I just like this movie, man, because you never saw Elvis like this. He's rugged looking. He always looked like clean-cut American kid. You know, you never saw him with a beard in his life, only in this movie. And again, there's only one song during the opening credits. I mean, the movie drags a little bit, but I mean, it's just cool to see him different. I like this, and I don't like the music score. It's kind of like repetitive and annoying, I remember. But it's just cool, man. It's Elvis with a beard in a Western. I think it's good. But it's a pretty good movie. This is probably in the top 5 for me, this movie, because it's just different. So. I gotta move this along quicker because there's a lot of movies. Okay. I'll show this one last. This is a movie pack from, I think, MGM. But it has 4 movies in here. It's got Clambake. And everybody, when they think of bad movies, that's like the first one they think of. Frankie and Johnny. Has that girl from the Beverly Hillbillies. Kid Galahad, when he's a boxer. It's funny to see him as a boxer, man. Follow That Dream. Yep. There's the back of them. Good Galahad, Frankie and Johnny, Clambake. Follow that dream. There's nothing to really see, it's just disc. This is another movie pack from Paramount. Elvis Lights Camera Elvis Collection. I'm trying to think about how many movies are in here. 2, 4, 6. There's 8 movies in there. So we got Paradise Hawaiian Style with Easy Come, Easy Go. So they're packed in here. Yeah, so they're all packed like that. Girls, Girls, Girls with Fun in Acapulco. Blue Hawaii with Rouseabout. King Creole with GI Blues. You know, those are on my list. And Blue Hawaii. Yeah. So there you go. And it's like in a blue suede case that opens like this. See? That's pretty cool. And this movie, well, I'll finish off his movies. The last one's a Blu-rays. Here we go. Got Jaws Rock on Blu-ray. So, yeah, it's one of his biggest movies. This is the only movie that's registered in the Library of Congress or whatever. So this movie's registered at that. Love Me Tender. This is remastered nice too. It's good, good remaster of it. These 3 movies I seen in theater. The next 3 I'm about to show you. They were re-released in theater at one point. I had a chance to see them. Viva Las Vegas. This is a special, like, kind of book type of pack. It's pretty cool. I remember me and my dad went to go see this in theaters, but it has like a whole book with like pictures. There's Anne Margaret. But yeah, let me stand up for this one. It just has like little pictures from the movie. So it has like, you know, a little information. Here's during the shooting of the movie. So yeah, and I'm not gonna flip through them. I think too complicated. Then we got Elvis, That's the Way It Is. This has both versions of the film. I've seen this movie twice in theater, actually. But it's a good movie. Actually, this is from when I seen the movie. They gave you this. It's like a little commemorative pass or whatever. I think, yeah, only the 2001 version of this movie is on Blu-ray, and then the 1970s on DVD, which is understandable. The 1970 wasn't that great, that version. It could have been good, but there was a lot of cuts, like interviewing people during when the concert's playing. But it has like a lot of like pictures from the era, a little information in between. But the only thing that stinks about the 2001 version, the songs that appear in the 1970 don't, almost all of them do not appear. But yeah, okay. This is the last movie of his during his life, Elvis on Tour, and this was the last movie that needed to be released for everything to ever be released, and it was released in 2010. I remember seeing this in theaters. It was sold out actually, so I was very shocked. Which usually when I go to these, it's like an empty theater, but. But it's cool. And it's advertising a movie collection on here. But alright, that's all his initial movies during his life. Now I'm going to show the rest of my movie collection. Well, this is one of the first things after his death. It was in theaters. This is Elvis. Came out in, when did it come out? 81. Came out in 1981. Basically about his life. And an interesting thing about, and there's two different cuts of this movie. There's an expanded one, 40 minutes additional footage. There's an expanded version of the original film. It has a little 24-page booklet in it. But the interesting thing about this movie is this is the only time you get to see the upstairs of Graceland, like in his room. Because, they don't ever picture it or show it, during the tours, of course. So, and this was filmed at, it was filmed at Graceland, so, it's cool. And that's the only time you really get to see upstairs in Elvis's room. So, you see a little bit of it. Okay. I think next I'm going to do is, like, his TV stuff when he was on TV. I'll do this first, it makes sense. The Ed Sullivan shows. He appeared 3 times in Ed Sullivan, and it has the complete 3 episodes. I think including the commercials too, from what I remember. I haven't watched this in a while, but there's 3 discs with a little book. Little bonuses in here. They have Elvis only tracks if you just want to watch Elvis. But yeah, this is a cool. It's cool to have them, and they're remastered really nicely. Don't look like the ones you see elsewhere, like a little fuzzy in the picture, and they remastered it really good. And it has other people on here too, because it's a complete shows. So that's cool. It's cool to have. If you can find it. I don't think it's around anymore. I think that's out of print. Elvis, the Frank Sinatra Show. Welcome Home Elvis episode. And this is actually the last episode of Frank Sinatra's show. I was thinking about buying, they re-released this again. I was thinking about buying it again. Frank Sinatra's, I guess, estate re-released this episode. And I would like to watch it. I wonder if it's remastered better. I mean, it's a little rough, just a little bit. Because I don't think this was released during from his estate or anything. Maybe from another source. But it's cool to have, man. Only time you get to see like 2 of the biggest legends of the time, really. It's pretty cool. It's a whole episode. That whole episode of the Frank Sinatra Show. I kind of hope one day, though, they'll come out with, like the Milton Berle shows, Steve Allen. That'd be nice if they had the complete shows of that. Especially Milton Berle. Maybe even the High Gardner show he appeared on. And was it Dave's Dance Party or something? And the Dick Clark stuff. Like, had to get the complete TV shows he appeared on. Alright. So fast forward like 8 years, and what do you have? The 68 comeback. These came out in 2004. This was like the anniversary thing. This is a 3-disc set. It has everything that was filmed during the special. Like all the takes that they did. They're all slated. Has a little book. These are only, they're not available in stores no more. This is only really available on shopelvis.com now. And they're pretty expensive, but what do you expect? And here's a single disc version that came out a year or two later. So, it's pretty cool. Then they released a 2-disc version of Aloha from Hawaii. There we go. You know, this year's the 45th and the 50th anniversary of these specials. Man, I hope one day we get a Blu-ray release of those. I'd buy them. And here's a single disc version. And that 2-disc version has outtakes from the insert songs and has a rehearsal show and all that, the complete stuff. Him arriving in Hawaii, that segment. Okay, that's all the stuff from his life. We all know they didn't release the 77 CBS special. Okay. So now I guess I'll show a compilation of performances they have. These came out in 2007 and 8. Here's volume 1 of 30 #1, or just #1 hit performances. It's selections from the 30 #1 hits. So that's from different sources, some movies, from TV appearances, whatever. And here's the volume 2. This is basically selections from Second to None. And it has like Don't Cry Daddy, which is the last time that was released. The source on here was the Lost Performance VHS tape, so it's cool to see. And this is from the Great Performances. There's 3 volumes. This has been I know this has been remastered since then, but this was the special from the early '90s, a 3-part special. This one's called Volume 1, Center Stage. It's TV appearances and movie stuff. The Great Performances Volume 2, The Man and His Music and the Music. So. And it has some stuff from the CBS special on here. You know, he's doing Unchained Melody, I think. That's really only one. That's like a common clip to see. There's volume 3 from the waist up. So, and of course, in the early '90s, they came out with a soundtrack with it. These are from the early '90s also, but they're on DVD. This is a special around his first album. It interviews some people, I think like Keith Richards and B.B. King, people who worked around him, and that one guy who remasters all this, who's in charge of all the Project Ernest something, who does all the Elvis releases, which he does an awesome job. But yeah. So it just talks about that era of his career in '56, basically. And same with this. I know this was just remastered. Elvis '56. This was from the late '80s, early '90s. A special that was on TV. But basically talks about the first year. Trying to think what I can do next. I guess this is interesting. It's called Elvis Presley Gladiators. This is interesting. It's a lot of, it's almost an hour of footage of him at a karate school in Memphis that he helped build with his karate instructor. He put money into, but apparently he was planning a movie. This ain't the movie or nothing. This is just him doing karate stuff with people he's affiliated with and his in this class, and it has some guy from the Olympics. But here's a little poster cars of him. This is like from the same day, I guess, for the most part. Maybe except for that. Because it was filmed around 74. And some guy narrates it. And it has little notes about Elvis talking about that picture. It says, ending a picture on a remote hill. The camera is on close-up of Elvis as he stands in a fighting stance. So yeah, so they were planning, I guess he was planning some kind of film, but just didn't materialize. I guess he lost interest or something. Or I don't know. Maybe Colonel killed it. You never know what was planned and never never was. Alright, these are like... Okay, I'm going to do these little mini-series that they've done over the years. This is one of the first mini-series they did after Elvis died. Starring Kurt Russell as Elvis. It's cool. It's cool to have, you know. Look at him. But they didn't use Graceland or nothing in this. They used totally different buildings and stuff and sets. But I mean, it was released from Shout Factory. It's the first time it was released ever, I think, on DVD. Okay. My phone's gonna die really soon, so I need to hurry up. Okay. Elvis the miniseries. This miniseries came out in 2005. Starring Jonathan something. He's like an English star. He was in Tudors. He plays Elvis. This was a good series for the time. I remember watching the series. It's pretty cool. And it's the first time they used Elvis. I know it's the first time they used Elvis Masters in a miniseries starring Elvis. Elvis Viva Las Vegas. This is a TV special that was on TV. It has like 20 more minutes of additional footage. It talks about his return from to Vegas and how he invented it. So people talking about him and whatever, even Priscilla and stuff. Elvis by the Presleys. This was a special on TV in 2005. This is a 2-disc set. It has a lot more additional stuff that was not on TV that they shot. So yeah. It was a cool little special. Alright, and the last DVD I got this from Graceland actually. It came with a package deal I got when I went to Graceland the second time. It's a tour DVD of Graceland, the official tour DVD. It's a 1-disc set. No, it's a 2-disc set. So it tours Graceland. It has other little things too. A couple of bonus things. Pretty cool. So. Alright, that's it. So yeah, God, 40 minutes. Jeez. I don't try to do that on purpose, people, I promise. But yeah, so tomorrow I should get Elvis the Searcher CD set to accompany the HBO special that's coming out. And I think I'll do another movies one of movie memorabilia I have. I guess I have some original movie posters and lobby cards. And anything else I can find or think of, I'll see. But alright, I'm going to end it here. Thanks for watching me showing you all my movies, collections of his. So that's it. So see y'all later. Bye.